Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Kate. I'm a specialist occupational therapist, and today I'm going to talk all about sensory regulation and the parent-child co-regulation. Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Kate. I am a specialist occupational therapist, and today we are going to talk all about sensory regulation and parent-child co-regulation and the importance of it. So, parenting is a whirlwind, isn't it? I have a 4-year-old and a 20-month-old right now, and it is busy, busy, busy. And, when there is sleepless nights, we've got work demands, we've got family demands, there's a lot going on in relation to parenthood and what we need to do. And to be able to support ourselves and have the balance for ourselves in relation to day-to-day life and our emotional well-being. Okay. And so if you imagine what I'm going to talk about now, it's kind of like a bit of a symphony and a harmony that we develop as parents and between our children, particularly when children are young. And obviously we put in the nurturing touch and the sensory input that children need to be able to develop that co-regulation. So when a child cries as a baby, we are there to co-regulate. So they use our nervous system to be able to calm down. Okay. So it's like a little bit of a dance simulation to our sensory regulation, and it really requires a lot of, imagine us as the conductor of this musical, and the rhythm. So the rhythm of our own nervous system really supports the co-regulation of children's nervous system, and this is particularly if children are experiencing sensory processing difficulties. So when I talk about sensory regulation, it's the ability to manage and respond to information that we receive through our senses. Okay, so for children, the world is a full sensory environment, and for us, but for children, it's the playground, it's the sights, it's the sounds, it's the textures, it's the being in the school environment, the noisy dining hall, all of these places. And for us, it's providing, helping us to provide the basics that are involved in relation to supporting that regulation for children to help them experience that nurturing and emotional well-being. So imagine we are the conductor, okay, and it's a musical performance that your child is eager to be able to, they're like a little apprentice. They're looking for help. So when children find it really difficult to self-regulate, it is because they don't have the skills to be able to do that right now. So, I've been around and I've had many discussions with parents and educators, and they've said, they just need to self-regulate, but we need to teach them. And the way we teach them is through the co-regulation. So children look for us for cues to navigate this symphony of the nervous system. And to be honest, sometimes we think we're robots as parents. We think that, I can give a persona that I'm okay, but some children with sensory processing are very, very sensitive to understanding that actually you're not okay. Okay, but they are looking at us and our nervous system to be able to guide them effectively. And so that is why regulating our own nervous system first is fundamental to be able to integrate this into the home environment and develop more of a sensory regulatory lifestyle within the home environment. So, strategies that you can do are things like mindful breathing, relaxation techniques, becoming self-aware. I do a kind of a check-in on a morning. How am I feeling? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling calm? Because I know then that will affect how I respond to my children as they wake up. So, we've got to check in with ourselves. So doing a morning check-in is perfect to be able to think, okay, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I'll not do A, B, or C this morning. I'll just get the children ready and we'll get out to school, because that will help you feel calmer than, if you're trying to do everything before you get out the door. And it's really doing things, you could reset your vagus nerve, which is one of the systems that help us regulate. And that is through doing something simple like splashing your face with cold water. So if you are having a stressful morning or a stressful evening or wherever it may be, splashing your face with cold water is something super quick, always generally accessible, and you could do that. It's not something that you've got to go out. You don't need resources, you don't need anything, but actually you can reset your nervous system to be able to support that regulation. And we have to master these skills. We have to find what works for us as an individual, and then be able to master these and do them regularly so they become part of our habits, so that then we are kind of setting this stage for the co-regulation relationship with our children. So co-regulation is the intertwining between a parent and a child. Okay, so it's a little bit like a dance, where both partners, we influence each other's emotional states, and as parents, we are very attuned to our own sensory needs. And if we're not, then that's something for us to work on. I wasn't years ago. I had to do work on myself and my self-awareness to become attuned with mine. But when you are more attuned, then you can be attuned into your child's cues more effectively. Okay, because this fosters the sense of security and trust, and it lays the groundwork for that healthy emotional development within our children. Now, co-regulation is the starting point in relation to develop self-regulation. So for co-regulation to occur, it helps children develop and understand their bodily needs, their bodily sensations, and that is that interoception processing. So that is being able to understand what our body feels like, the brain registers it, and then we're able to go and self-regulate. So, as we grow older, the ability to perceive and understand our internal bodily sensations is fundamental. But for children with sensory processing difficulties or trauma, it is not an easy thing for them to do. They can be flooded with bodily sensations and don't understand it. The messages might have to be super intense before they understand it, and then that comes out in that emotional response. So we've got to work on that interoception and helping children through co-regulation be able to recognize these internal bodily sensations. So tummy feels empty, mouth feels dry. They're the sensations. It's not happy, sad, angry. Because when my tummy feels empty, which is a sensation, I link it to the emotion of hunger, and then I self-regulate by going in to eat. So we've got to be able to link those up with children through the co-regulation that we achieve to be able to do it. And then sensory regulation plays a pivotal role in developing this interoception process and developing this self-regulation for children. And then when children learn to identify how their body feels, they are able to then regulate their own sensations, and then they develop that self-regulation skills. So as parents, you might be thinking, this is all great, but what can we do? So some practical tips: we could have mindful moments. So incorporate brief moments of mindfulness into the day. This can be as quick as a minute, but it's just taking a deep breath and, and living in the moment and just enjoying that time and them sensations that you're feeling. It could be sensory friendly environments. So tailoring your home to being sensory friendly for you and your child and your family's needs. So this could be providing space where they can explore textures, or not even space, but activities where they can explore textures, sounds, lighting, creating a safe space. Even things like after school, I call it sensory layering, but layer the environment in a different sensory way to really support regulation of the nervous system. And another one is kind of spending 10 minutes of your time undivided for your child. There is research that this can massively influence your children's behavior. So put the phones down, put the iPads down, turn the phone off or whatever, don't put the tea on, and just spend 10 minutes being in the moment and playing with your child and letting them lead the play. It doesn't have to be play what's in your head. This can be whatever they want to do, but you're there, you're spending the time, and you are actively co-regulating and enjoying being in the moment with your children. So whatever that may be, but let them lead. You don't lead the play, let them lead and let them enjoy being and achieving that co-regulation. Another strategy is modeling self-regulation. So children learn by observing. So when they witness parents regulating their own emotions and stress, they can then internalize it and develop strategies and a coping mechanisms. So I talk a lot about how in my house, mummy exercises because that helps her feel calmer. So, and so being able to explain it to your children and being able to say, I do this because this is how it makes me feel is really fundamental to help children think, what makes my body feel good. It develops that interoception awareness. And then interoception activities. So engage in activities that promote interoception processing. So this could be a gentle touch of a massage. It could be focused breathing. It could be, doing some heavy muscle work and feeling all their muscles working. It could be hanging from monkey bars. It could be kind of like a gym session if you've got older children, but then talking about it. How does it make your muscles feel? And this is about the describing of how the muscles feel. And that is what helps that interoception awareness and that mind-body connection. So in the grand scheme of things, the parenting, the sensory regulation, it all emerges and works together to weave together to be able to then develop our child's emotional and cognitive development in relation to their regulation. So we've got to be mindful conductors in all of this in relation to our own nervous system and become much more self-aware to be able to engage and do strategies that help us, that we know that work and that fit into our own personal lifestyles. Okay, and that helps us unlock the potential for co-regulation with children and to be able to cultivate and develop those essential skills like interoception processing or like self-regulation that really help through every day-to-day life so that we are able to move on throughout day-to-day life and children know that they can co-regulate, but then they develop that self-regulation just like we do. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you have took some of the tips away. And if you've got any questions, please drop them below and please click the like button and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.